Hey everybody, I took my muscadines out the freezer and I'm going to start the process of making the wine today. The first thing I'm going to do is to slowly bring the muscadines to a boil with this distilled water in this big stock pot right here. And I'm watch it very carefully so that it doesn't scorch because it will affect the taste of the wine. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, I'll bring you along every step of the way. And by the way, I'm not an expert. This is my first time making wine. So the first thing that I'm doing, guys, is I'm taking these mashers and mashing them down a little bit to break the skin. And then I'll add distilled water and bring them to a boil. And I'm sorry if you hear Bria's classroom in the background. Okay? Okay, guys, I hope you can hear this. Bria's class is going on in the background, but I want you to know that I put my juice steamer on and I added the muscadines to the top portion. It has holes in it. You can see right there. And then the juice will be captured right here. And then 3 or 4 quarts of water in the bottom. So I didn't put distilled water in the bottom because it's just going to steam. But I'm going to use something to purify everything, and I'll share that with you when I do it. Now, I could have eliminated this step, but I read somewhere that it's best to try to burst up the muscadines because you'll get more juice and more flavor. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this to a boil and then I'm gonna let it simmer, and I'm putting this siphoning hose right here so that, you know, it won't get melted here on the stove, okay? I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Okay, so I had to turn it down a little bit. As you can see right here, it's boiling. Steam is coming out of the little holes there. You can see the color is disappearing from the muscadine. Ooh, that's hot. So I'm gonna let this boil for about another 20 minutes. I'm back, and so as you can see here, the juice is starting to come and fill up in the hose. And you have to just open it by squeezing it to let the juice out. Now there's gonna be some settlement at the bottom. But that's okay, because when I transfer this into the bucket that I'm going to use to ferment the juice and actually make the wine, that I guess they call it sediment, will be at the bottom. But it was only a little sediment during the first initial juice that came out. But this process is going to take between 2 and 3 hours, and you have to constantly keep filling up this area, the water in this area. And I'm going to do that by adding hot water already from the tea kettle. Okay, so I'm going to let all this come out until it all, and I'm going to put more water in. And I'm loving this. And by the way, I have this in Bria's old high chair right here. You have to have the pot that you're draining the juice from to be a little bit lower than the actual pot on the stove. So this is cool. I'm loving it. And so now I'm just gonna leave it open part of the way and just let it slowly come out, because you can see right here, there's nothing else coming out. It has to keep boiling. And by the way, I got this pot from Amazon. It's called a vineyard steam juicer from Roots and Branches. Okay, guys, I just want you all to know that I'm very blessed that I have everything that I need to make the wine. I just wanted a larger fermenting bucket that I showed you on my live the other night. My oldest son gave me everything that I need to make wine, even a small fermenting bucket, jugs. I have containers to put cider, hard cider or beer. And this is the only thing that I bought, was this large bucket, because I knew that I could make, hold this, sweetie, come right here, hold this. I knew I had 8 or 9 pounds of muscadines, and that was too many for that small bucket right there. And this is what I'm going to use right now. These are called Calamondin tablets. Its technical name is sodium metabisulfite. This is what is going to clarify the juice that I just made. You can put it in cold when you first start making your juice, or you can put it afterwards and let it sit for 24 hours before you actually start the fermenting process. So that's what I'm going to do. Since I had, different compartments to that juicer, I want to be safe, and I'm going to add it to the juice itself instead of all of the fruit. I crushed the tablets up. I added them to the liquid, and I stirred it up very well. Now it's going to stay just like this for 24 hours. This concludes day 1. I'll bring you back tomorrow for the next step. Bye now.